Have you gotten over the snub yet, or does it still
It
sting?
stings. Yeah, it stings a lot. Obviously, we had a good enough year, but I think the biggest thing was we had this goal all spring, and we had a bad fall, obviously, but we had this goal all spring to. I told him beginning of the spring we can still make it. We can't have any more screw ups, but we can still make it. And to see them kind of buy into that, and then each week get a little bit better and get a little bit better, and then just kind of build. And I thought we played our best tournament at Big 12. Obviously the seventh place finish doesn't show that, but the Big 12 was by far the strongest conference in college golf, and we were only 5 shots out of third. Had the low round of the tournament the last day, so it was a huge swing of emotion. I thought going into that tournament, seventh place finish or better would do the trick for us, and so I think the guys got done with that tournament thinking we were in. And then as we started to see things kind of break out with other conferences and things like that, I knew it was going to be close. I still thought we were going to get in, and then I found out Wednesday afternoon that we were probably going to be the first school out. And so that was disappointing. Just it's really disappointing for the seniors because they really worked hard, and we've had this goal ever since they've been there to be the team that turns it around and gets the regionals for the first time in a while. And they came so close, so painfully close. So yeah, it's kind of bittersweet for sure.
What do you think of these three guys going on? Do you think any of them can keep going and make it all the way to nationals if they play their best?
Oh yeah, absolutely. All three of them have shown that they can play with the best players in the country, and Jeremy's got experience of winning Big 12 last year, and he's won 4 times since he's been here, and Roland's really stepped up this year and has been extremely consistent. And then same with Jake, and Jake's got the ability to go low. He's shot 65 a couple times and 66, and so they got the ability. And then going as individuals is kind of a different mindset. You don't have the pressure of the team, and they just kind of go play for themselves. And so I think they got a good shot.
On that note, kind of stealing Kellis's question from earlier, is it natural to play a hair more aggressive when it's just for yourself, or do you just play the way you play and let it see what happens?
I think you play the way you play. Obviously, it's a whole different mindset. As a team, we have going in there. Every shot's so important. On a team thing, and so we can be a little bit conservative at times, making sure that we're not giving shots away. But when you're playing as an individual, you can be a little bit more aggressive, especially in this format, where you've got to play really, really well to advance. And so you got to make a lot of birdies and shoot low. So I'm sure that the game plan will be a little bit different for these guys for this tournament for sure.
Player development, just how good of examples are these guys in terms of what they've grown into in their careers?
Yeah. I think it shows that you can get better here. That's something we preach when we're recruiting. And, first of all, it takes buy-in. And that's the biggest thing. You got to get kids that are willing to take a look at themselves and understand areas that they need to improve on, and then be able to have trust in the coaches and do the right thing. And you can see when they do that, when kids buy in, you can see that the development, how they get better. So not everybody's like that, but these guys are a pretty perfect example of that, especially Roland, who's coming a long way. I saw him at golf camp at Wake Forest years ago when I was coaching at Memphis, and he's always been on my radar, someone that had tons of potential because of his athleticism, and to his credit, he came in and bought into the system and gotten better. It's taken a while, but everybody's development timeline's a little different, but he really came on this year and just been extremely consistent, and having the lowest stroke average in school history, that says something.
Paul spoke about wanting to go in and prove that the team belonged. Does that? I mean, they're all individuals at this point. Does that go back to the culture change and what this program's become about?
Yeah, they feel slighted. I think they're upset that we're obviously. I think what's frustrating about it is, at the end of the year, we felt like we were one of the best teams, not only good enough to be in the tournament, but good enough to advance. I think we're a top 30 team right now, and that's what's probably the most frustrating part is, we're not. It would have been one thing had we had backed into it, and didn't play very well and just kind of hoping for that last spot. But I thought we played our way into it. And that's just the way the system is. Everybody kind of knows it going into the year. But I think these guys do have a little chip on their shoulder with something to prove. And I told them last night, they got a chance to go show, what we're capable of. And it'd be nice to have 3 guys in the top 10.
Talk about a culture change. What has been the biggest change since you got here?
I think the biggest thing is number one. It's always been the commitment and work ethic, and I think that's changed. Probably the last couple of years. They all started working a lot harder, and then the hard work didn't necessarily translate into success right away. And I think it's hard to. I think the next step was having that belief, and for them to believe without evidence was kind of tough. But then once they started seeing some success, it just kind of grew. Because I always knew they all had talent, and then you put the work ethic with their talent, and then they kind of lacked the belief. And so they weren't quite, they would play really well in practice, or they'll go to a tournament and have one really good round and just wasn't able to put things together. And then this year, I think things started to come together. They started seeing some success, and then you just started to see their confidence build as the year went on. So I think the belief's been that last part. So now, this spring, we're going into tournaments not hoping to play well, but expecting to play well, and that's been a big difference.
I was just going to ask, what was the biggest difference between fall and spring? But is it that simple? Just the difference level in confidence and belief?
Yeah, I think one thing that really helped us, we had a really bad winter weather-wise, and so that was a challenge. It's something that we could have looked at and made an excuse about, but we're always talking about no excuses. And I think what the weather forces us to do is pick a lineup. Normally we qualify. When you qualify, you have all sorts of different scenarios happen, and even at the beginning of the year, like Roland didn't make the first tournament. He's been our best player this year, but he didn't qualify. So I think Coach Murray and I kind of looked and said, okay, these are the 6 guys that have played the best, and these are the guys that we believe in. And we told them at the beginning of the spring, we're not going to be able to qualify because of weather. Yeah. And we brought those 6 in and said, you guys are our 6. We're rolling with you the rest of the year. And I think that kind of gave them a boost of confidence. I think knowing that that we believed in them as coaches, and that their spot in the lineup was secure. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that helped with the belief factor. And then, like I said, they've always had that talent and work ethic, and then that belief was that final part.
Women played this course a couple of years back. Have you picked their brain at all?
Not really. Coach Heelan gave us some information, yardage books and things like that to look at. So I'm sure it's typical Southern course with Bermuda grass, and I'm pretty familiar with that type of layout. So practice round's gonna be important. None of us have been there before. We don't really know too much about the golf course, but so the practice round will be important to get a good game plan for these guys.